This is the story of Edie Jeanette Rodriguez Flores. She was born in Hospital Roosevelt, located in Guatemala City, Guatemala, on January 12, 1972. Edie was raised by her grandmother when she lived in Guatemala for the first few years of her life. Edie's mother, Juana Albertina Morales Rodriguez, helped bring Edie over to the United States in June of 1977. Edie was only 5 years old when she migrated. Edie's story as an immigrant child growing up in the United States is closely related around Juana's story as an immigrant mother living in the U.S. As Juana made a living for herself by working in the housework sector, Edie's social life growing up was changed completely. Edie, her sister Helen, and her mother Juana lived in Santa Ana, California. Though Juana's work was mostly centered in Huntington Beach, this eventually caused Edie to enroll in Hawes Elementary in Huntington Beach. Edie's weekdays consisted of commuting with her mother to Huntington Beach at 7 in the morning. While Edie was at school, Juana cleaned houses all day long. One of Juana's past employers, when she worked as a live-in housekeeper and nanny, would allow for Edie to stay all afternoon once school was out. This made Juana's job easier, allowing for her to finish all her tasks and not have to worry about Edie. Edie spent more time in Huntington Beach than she did in Santa Ana. Edie's days ended whenever Juana's work days ended, which could oftentimes go until 7 p.m. Edie shared that while she attended school, she faced a language barrier, which caused her to fall behind in school. Once she made the transfer to Hawes Elementary and remained in Huntington Beach District schools, her English proficiency greatly improved. This actually caused Edie's Spanish skills to weaken. She slowly forgot how to write in Spanish and lost her proficiency in speaking it. Though Edie saw discrimination and microaggressions happen firsthand towards her mother Juana in her work sector as a housekeeper and nanny, Edie also dealt with such racial problems throughout her life. During Edie's life growing up in Orange County, she saw substantial changes in the community throughout the decades. Santa Ana demographics sharply changed between the 1970s and 1980s. Edie's best explanation of these changes was that there was no place in the city that had tortillas. Soon enough, there were shops like El Toro and El Gallo Giro that catered to Latinos. This was when Edie noticed a change in the community surrounding her. As Edie transitioned from adolescence into her years as a young woman, she devoted her time to her high school sweetheart Randy Arbgast. Edie and Randy have been together for 30 years and married for 26 years. Randy, her husband, is Italian, and together they have faced several unfortunate remarks from strangers and even acquaintances who comment on their racial and ethnic differences. Their interracial marriage, family, and household consist of them two and their two daughters, Jessica and Alex. Through adulthood and motherhood, Edie continued to see demographics changing in Orange County, in their residential area, in the schools, and the community surrounding them. Edie stated that she and Randy wanted the best education for their girls, which they found within the Garden Grove School District. They became involved parents early on in their daughters' K-12 educations because they wanted a different experience for their daughters. Because Edie lived through some racial and ethnic hardships while growing up, she did not want her daughters to be affected in any similar manner. Because Edie had lived through these circumstances, Edie shared that she did her best to teach her daughters about diversity and teach them to not see color as a determining factor among people. Edie's experiences growing up in the United States at such a young age is reflective in the ways she raised her daughters and how she perceives her sense of self as a mother. While Edie endured racial discrimination growing up, she knew exactly how to go against the challenges that faced her daughters upon raising them. And ever since then, her main focus has been on her family, her daughters' education, and celebrating all the victories her family as a whole has overcome. Though Edie's story growing up in the U.S. shaped her adolescence substantially, she is now a married woman with two daughters. Edie's story since she was a child has been very revolved around the women in her life. As Edie explained how she grew up alongside her mother and younger sister, this has become generationally embedded into their family as well, as her daughters Jessica and Alex have had the opportunity to grow up with their mother Edie, Grandma Juana, and their Aunt Helen.